What's up guys, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and welcome back to another Awaken video. So we're at 1 month of playing Awaken Chaos Era, and we're going to go over the last weekly progress report here, and probably do a little quick review of the game, kind of give you a few of my thoughts, give it a overall rating, and let you know whether it's worth trying or not. So let's get into it. So after a bit of a lull in week 3 and week 4, pushing at the end of the first month, I actually played a little bit more and was able to make a little more progress. So last time we had done a few polls and got a few new characters. One of my daily polls actually got me Marion Shadowblood, the dark epic character, with a lot of true damage equal to target's max HP, which is a really nice skill, and getting her made a big difference in some of my dungeon runs, having the neutral affinity in a lot of dungeons. As you can see, I brought her up to 60. Got the abilities maxed out because it was pretty easy to do, being my first dark character I built into. We got the glyphs finished. We've got some okay gear. Nothing too crazy yet because we're still looking at hitting the top end of dungeons in order to farm gear efficiently. But for right now, it's okay gear. And she's been doing a really good job keeping the damage output on bosses. And as far as champions go, that is the biggest change. I'm still working on a few glyphs for a few of my other main damage dealer carries and whatnot. I've got my Auroch maxed out on the glyphs, and he hits really hard, and he's been a big help. And then we've started building a few little champions I got so that we can start going for the Savannah character synthesis here. I'm just looking for a few more of the elites so that I can build the dwarf guy here, and then we'll start finishing it out, leveling everybody to try and get the legendary. So that'll be fun, looking forward to in the near future. Probably could have built into it a lot sooner, but I just wasn't focused on doing that. I wanted to build the champs I have and make a lot more progress that way. We are at level 15 of the new battle pass, or magic pass as they call it. And this one seems pretty good. The rewards aren't quite as nutty as they are before, but they're still really solid, especially for being free. So that's a lot of fun there. And then we've got our winter festival, which I'm really enjoying this one. I like the new set of daily quests, just like we did for the Mila character right at the beginning of the game. I like the setup of it for the extra rewards, more things to do on the daily, which is really fun. And then battle pass, and then this new boss. This guy's a lot of fun. I'm really liking the setup and the format for this boss, and the rewards are really good too. I like earning a whole new currency that we can pick what rewards we want. I really like the way they have that set up, and I really like fighting the boss. He's a lot of fun. I don't have an amazing team for it. I have one good team and then one very subpar team. I can't show you here because I'm out of uses for right now. But I'm really liking that boss. I like this winter event. I think they did a really good job with it. And then we've also got a hero promotion going on right now, which I'm about halfway done with. And this one has some pretty decent rewards. You got 3 shards, decent chunk of XP, some coupons, these event points, which have their own little shop now from what I'm seeing, which is really cool. I like the way that works as well. You can save up points and go purchase things with them. A couple pumpkins, XP booster, 4-star pumpkin. Good deal all around. Really good event. And it hasn't been too terribly hard to max out so far. I think we've still got, how long was it here? Another day or so? Yeah, another day and 5 hours from time of recording. Not bad. Have that wrapped up pretty soon here. And then in the arena, not much to show here. I got pushed back to Silver 5 after the weekly reset. I've been slowly working my way back up towards gold, but I haven't done a whole lot so far this week. So that's another thing we'll be focusing on soon. And then in the dungeons. So now that I got all these maxed out, I'm able to easily farm for leveling each character's abilities. So that's been really nice. I like having that out of the way. I don't really have a light character I'm working on at the moment, so I'll have that one wrapped up really soon. Because I pretty much could anytime, I just don't need them right now, so I have not bothered to. And then in the ARCANE Dominator, the gear dungeons. We made a little bit of progress here. We cleared 2 more stages of Roaring Tulpa thanks to getting the Marion Shadowblood, because no affinity weakness, and she hits based on enemies' max HP, true damage, which has been really nice against him, having all the block stacks and the overshield and all that fun stuff. So she helped a lot in this dungeon. So we made it a little further there. We're up to 9 on the Ash Magisteria. We cleared 1 more, I want to say, but now we're kind of stuck at level 8 of Queen of Tides, which is unfortunate because this is the one I want to build into for getting the attack set. So we'll see. Got to work on another green character or a light character so that I can try to get through this one. because it's very rough not having a lot of green characters, but that's a thing we're still working on. Then we're still at level 81 in the normal Void Tower, another area I haven't done too much of this week. It is rather challenging, but I also have just been focusing on farming and doing other things and glyphs for the moment, and we've been saving up our shards. We're at 9 right now. I'm trying to save them up for the next summoning event. I liked the rewards and the way the last one worked, so I'm trying to save all these up, even free to play, so that when that comes out I can get more for my money basically, and get a lot of rewards for opening all my shards. So we're holding on to all those. And then in the campaign we are still at, what is it, 6-4? Let me see what one we're at here. Yeah, we're still at the 6-4, the Fighting Sierra. I haven't tried this one in a little bit because we have that same blue locked problem where I don't have enough green characters in order to power through it. But we're working towards it. I've mostly been farming, so I haven't really pushed to clear this one yet. Having the new dark character who wouldn't be affinity weak, I might have a chance to get through this one now, but I simply have not tried it yet because at the moment I didn't particularly need it. We might go try that here sometime here in the near future. And then we're at character level 37, so definitely a little slower than someone putting a lot of money into the game, but we are keeping up. And then as you can see in my clan damage, this week's a little lower for me, not having the affinity strength, because a lot of my damage comes from red characters. So I'm down to level 17 chest rather than the 18 or 19 I was at. But as you can see, even within my clan, I'm sitting in the top 5, even if it is at the bottom of it. So I think that's pretty good for being completely free to play. And then my clan has actually been doing a really good job of keeping up on all these guild quests. I highly recommend you do the same, because you get some decent rewards for it. You get the clan XP, and then you also get the guild funds, which I don't believe there is a way in the game to use guild funds yet. Yeah, just your own little personal purchases. So we don't have a way to use those yet, but they're maxed. So as soon as they come out with that feature, we're going to be in good shape. That pretty much wraps up our weekly update. Like I said, it's been mostly farming XP, leveling characters, and working on the new events. So there hasn't been a whole lot of progression throughout the rest of the game, but we're working through those areas pretty good, and it's going really well. So now we'll move on to the quick review portion of this video. So I think Awaken has a lot of potential. I'm really enjoying the game. I find it a lot of fun, and it's definitely a little more friendly to free-to-play people than many other gacha games. I haven't felt severely handicapped by not putting a lot of money into the game. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, second one, so 8. As you can see, free to play 1 month in, we've gotten 8 legendaries, which isn't bad, and one of them being a light legendary, which is, I want to say 0.1% chance. So this one's mostly just me getting super lucky. And then we've got a pretty good roster of epics that can do all kinds of different things, and then even a lot of the elites are really solid in this game. So we've gotten a really good roster so far, even without putting any money into the game, which is really cool. Playing similar games, I remember having to go a lot longer on free to play before getting any really good champions, and sometimes having to completely rely on like login based champions and whatnot. Here really hasn't been that case. There's a lot of good ways to get champions, even down into just the covenants, the little challenges you can do to unlock specific guys, and they give you really solid characters for that. I mean, Zatlux is really good, Asrina is really good, Connor's a really solid support character. I don't have this one yet, but Sierra's an insane nuker for wave clear. So there's a lot of really simple ways to get really good characters in this game, which is something that I really appreciate. So you may not get everything you want, but the game does a good job of making sure you get what you need at very minimum. And I really like the shop, the gold shop, even the diamond shop isn't too bad. Obviously you can make arguments as to which things are more worth it, but I've really liked the variety, and that each area in the game earns you individual currencies you can choose to buy different things with or save up for different things with. I really appreciate that, because in a lot of others it's very strict as to what you can do, or it gives you specific rewards instead of letting you pick things you want. And I like the freedom it gives you in order to pick what you need to progress rather than just choosing what you get for you. Whether you want more shards, you want gear enhancement, more energy, gold even if you really wanted to, gear pieces that are okay. I just like the options. I appreciate it giving me a lot of choice. And then the variety of dungeons is really cool too. I always feel like there's something to be doing. Even when I get low on energy, you've got things like Endless Trial. You can earn a lot of gear enhancement tokens. You've got the Void Tower that doesn't cost very much energy. You've got bounty hunt stages and dispatches, gear dungeons, ability dungeons. There's so much to do, and a lot of which you can do at any time. So I never feel like I run out of things to do, and that's not even counting the guild boss, making your way through the different levels of campaign, which there's quite a bit to get through there. There's just a lot of things to do and work on in the game, and much of it can be attained by a free-to-play player. And then you've got the art style. Some people are going to really like it. Some people may find it too cartoony and not care for it. I, myself, do tend to prefer the more hyper-realistic style of something like a raid, but I don't mind this art style. It's nice. The champions look cool. There's a lot of cool-looking stuff in the game. The effects of abilities are really well done. Though I wish I could turn off the ultimates so you don't have to see them hundreds of times. I do think the ultimate animations are pretty cool, and they definitely did a good job on them. So it's not perfect, but I do think the art style fits the game and works really well. And I myself cannot really speak on how the pricing or anything for in the shop works. I have not purchased a single thing in this game yet, so I know nothing about it. Both of my friends have gotten the Battle Pass, the $10 version, just accessing the elite portion of it, not actually buying tiers in it, just the base elite one. And it seems really worth it, and even just for me looking over it, seems like a pretty good value. So of looking at the shop items, I do think the Battle Pass is probably the most cost-effective and worthwhile, especially because you also get a champion. And then I really appreciate a lot of the game's quality of life changes from some other gacha games. I really like that XP earned is stored as XP jelly, so it makes farming a lot simpler, makes it a lot easier. The adding foodies to the game, the champions that you cannot use in battle, but their passive is reducing the XP cost of upgrading by 50%. Really nice quality of life change, and it also makes it a lot easier to organize your food champions and know what you're doing with them, rather than having to keep tabs on which things are food and which things aren't, beyond just locking characters. So I really like the way they've done a lot of that. The UI in the game is also pretty decent. At one point super early on where it felt a little overwhelming with all the different things to click on and do everywhere, but after getting used to it a little bit, it's pretty nice. It's really easy to find what I'm looking for when I need it, and the icon's letting you know when you have something new there. So overall, it's been pretty user-friendly. Early on, there was quite a few bugs and frame dropping and crashes. It has been smoothed out a lot since I started playing, so they've definitely been keeping up on updating the game, which is really nice. But yeah, I've been having a really good time playing this game. I've pretty much stopped playing any other gacha game to play this one, which is a pretty big win considering how much I've been into some of the others. There are a few unfortunate issues with the game still. I was having an issue where XP potions would disappear overnight when I logged back into the game, even though I had made sure to turn them off. I have found a way to slightly skirt that. I myself play in BlueStacks, and if you happen to have the same problem and play on desktop via BlueStacks, rather than closing out of everything by hitting your close BlueStacks, what has solved the problem for me is making sure I tab and clear all or exit the game specifically before closing BlueStacks, and I haven't had it disappear again for me. So why I have to close the game first and then close BlueStacks, even though the XP potion was turned off, I don't know. But for whatever reason, closing the game here and then closing BlueStacks has solved, for me, the potion disappearing. But that's a little bit of an issue. The one other thing, I have to see if there's a character here that has one, but some of the descriptions in the game are so poorly translated. So like this one here, when attacking, there's a 30% chance to combo and deals 30% damage to all enemies. Crit rate increases by 100%. So this makes very little sense. Having used the character, I can tell you that this is not what it does. The worst part is the crit rate increases to 100%. That's not a buff. He doesn't do the combo and then get his crit rate to 100%. It doesn't make sense. The way it seems to work after using him heavily is when he crits, he has a 100% chance to do the combo, and when you don't crit, you have a 30% chance to do the combo and AoE for 30% damage. So it's, as you can see, maybe it makes more sense to some of you guys, but the wording is really bad, and I know that there's a few other characters I've seen people talk about that have really poor wordings and how things work, and they really need to work on that, because it would really suck to pull a champion, look over the kit, and toss it to the side thinking it has an absolute garbage kit just to not, for you to not understand how it works and have it actually be really good. And it just makes it very complicated to try and figure out how things work. So they need to work on the translation and how it's written for some of the abilities and things. But that is really my biggest complaint. I don't have a whole lot of complaints besides the crashes I dealt with early on. And like I said, that hasn't been much of a problem anymore. It's been a pretty stable experience in the last week or two, pretty much since their last big update. So as someone playing this game free to play, I think I'd probably have to give this game like a 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10 stars. There's definitely a few things that need to be fixed and worked on. I'd like to see some more added to the game, and I'd like that consistent level of updating they've been doing to keep going further into the game's full launch and just keep it going. I like the way the game works. I think they're doing a good job. I think I can pretty safely give it that 8 or 8.5 out of 10. So in App Store, I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars probably. Room to improve, but a really solid experience, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. And as a free-to-play, sometimes that can be a little tougher to do. So if you're looking for a gacha style game, you like hero collectors, you like doing battle and upgrading characters, and you're looking for one that's a little more free-to-play friendly, I definitely give Awaken a try. I think it's a great game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I plan to keep playing and try and do some more content on it. And that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.